take a look at this article from Forbes, which says, move over Bitcoin, the Dogecoin price is suddenly booming. Not just any Forbes writer, one of their senior writers, the front page of Forbes. Pretty dang cool to see that, as Dogecoin to the moon is currently trending on Twitter, and we do have a nice increase in energy today, as well as Dogecoin doing something pretty cool and special. Let's go ahead and go directly to the Dogecoin chart right now, which has been moving along at a nice pace here. Here's the chart. You can see what's done today, and we're going to compare that directly to what Bitcoin has done and see the big difference over the last 24 hours. So Dogecoin has actually had quite a great week so far today. And look at that. So we had this big spike going up all the way to above 27 cents, nearly 28 cents. And since then, it has come back down some. But what's so special about this spike is that we are only seeing Dogecoin do that spike. If you look at Bitcoin today, it did not do a spike at all. In fact, there was a tiny little bit of an increase that was slow over the day, but besides that, nothing much really happened. And you can see that directly in the crypto rankings, where Bitcoin and Dogecoin are both at very different levels right now. Let's go ahead and look at crypto rankings, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. But with Dogecoin doing its first specific spike like this in a long time, that is a very good sign for this week that the Dogecoin big breakout could happen, not just in the future, but potentially this week. So it's exciting to think about that. But we can see here, so Dogecoin, it was up as high as close to 10% today. Now, though, it is the only crypto that is up more than 4% at the top there. In fact, you have to scroll all the way down to number 19 to see a crypto that has gone up more than Dogecoin today. Binance Coin is the other one at the top that has gone up a decent amount with 2%. But with Dogecoin having this specific spike today, that's pretty dang impressive. And the only reason it didn't go higher is because the entire market started to go down some today. And that actually stopped the momentum of the Dogecoin spike right now. But that is still an extremely promising sign nonetheless, because what it means is Dogecoin may be about to break out on its own. The truth is, over the last month, the spikes we've seen in Dogecoin are largely because the entire market was going up. But this time, with a Dogecoin specific spike like that, it shows us that some of the energy is starting to be focused there again. And typically, when we do see a crypto absolutely go off, that's what happens right beforehand. So that's why it's especially exciting. And that article on Forbes is also pretty dang impressive. If you want to go down there and press the like button, it really will help this video to get out to more people, so take a sec to do that. One like equals one new viewer coming in, so you're actually doing your part by pressing that, and also doing your part by posting on social media and continuing to have fun, because that is what the Bitcoin maxis don't like. When Dogecoin people have way more fun than them, it makes them very frustrated and upset. And we see Let's Go Baby coming in from Krav Maga. Matt, roast the new Motley Fool article, please. Yes, I saw that. I'm going to be roasting that article. Motley Fool coming in with some ridiculousness as usual when it comes to Dogecoin. Elon Musk also has been tweeting a couple of things. He did tweet out a picture, which it's kind of hard to know exactly what it means. So we have a bunch of different interpretations coming in of this, and I'll go ahead and screenshot so we can actually zoom in a little bit more here and see this. So this is what the picture is. Now, at first glance, it looks kind of like a bunny. But why would Elon Musk post a picture of a bunny on his Twitter? I don't know. Probably he wouldn't. So that leads me to believe that Elon Musk most likely is doing a Floki picture, meaning his puppy, his Dogecoin dog, and I believe he's trying to say Dogecoin to the moon with this. Yes, that's an interpretation, and also the theory that would go against that, or the evidence going against that, would be the ears are rounded, and typically dogs don't have rounded ears, but most of the other explanations don't make a lot of sense either. It's possible he could just be having fun and posting something that he thought was cute with a rocket. It may not have a specific meaning, but if it was to have a meaning, it's either he likes bunnies and he wants them to go to the moon, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because why would he say that? Or he's saying Dogecoin to the moon, or maybe something else that none of us are catching on to. So that's what we'll continue to look into. Let me go and read a couple of these comments. What do you guys think he meant by that? Was he in fact saying Dogecoin to the moon with this? I certainly hope so. Maybe he did the rounded ears because it's a puppy. It's his puppy, which is still very young, so maybe that's why. It's kind of hard to tell. Also, the pointed arms, you don't see that with dogs either, so it does have a very bunny-like appearance. A little bit strange indeed. We'll continue to monitor and watch that, though. Maybe he was just making it himself, and so he did it in the way that was easiest to make, rather than actually trying to make it look more like Floki, his puppy. So that's also another possibility, but we'll continue to look into that. But the big news of this week is that we now have the first Bitcoin futures ETF approved. Now, there was previously a Bitcoin ETF related one that had Bitcoin companies that are investing big into Bitcoin. This one's different because this is now Bitcoin futures. And I think this is actually, in some ways, even more exciting than just having a Bitcoin, even potentially more exciting than a Bitcoin ETF in general. Because instead of following the price of Bitcoin, what this one does is you basically buy the stock. It is BITO, and they are an investment group who goes directly into Bitcoin futures. Now, if you don't know what Bitcoin futures is, basically it's if someone owns a $100,000 or someone owns one Bitcoin and it's worth currently $61,000, which is about the amount it's worth right now. Then someone else says, well, I want to buy your Bitcoin, but I believe it's going to go up to $100,000. Then what that one person can do who wants to buy the Bitcoin, they can say, hey, I'll give you $150. And then if your Bitcoin passes the value of $100,000, then I get to buy it from you for that price that we did that initial agreement on. So basically you get to buy a $100,000 Bitcoin for $61,000, which means boom, there's some big profit right there. But the catch to that is that if Bitcoin does not go past $100,000, then you just have to give up your $150 that you paid them and you get nothing in return. So then they get some money for doing that and you get nothing. So that's why having an investment group who is specializing in this, be someone you can invest in, is actually pretty dang strong. Now, there's two angles that can come from here. Either they can be the ones that are actually doing it, which means other people can be going through them. Let's say the other person would be the one who thinks it's going to go to 100,000. They can go through them, which means this company is basically going to be the house and always win no matter what. Because think about it. If you're the one doing that, you can't really lose. Well, technically, you could be upset if it goes up above 100,000 and you didn't get to make those profits, but you're not going to lose money. At the very least, you either get $150 or you don't win or lose anything. So there's no loss to that, which would mean it would be very safe stock at that point. But if they decide to actually go more into doing it themselves at different prices, maybe they believe Bitcoin's going to go to 70,000 and they make a bet like that. Well, then it could be a way higher upside stock. And that is what would be more exciting to me. If they are going to be focusing more on that, then I think this is absolutely a great ETF to be looking at, because I would much rather have someone who does this full time and doing it than for any of us to be trying to focus on that and also other stuff, because it really does require full time to actually have an idea of what you're doing. Or you can just watch the show and get a better idea, but it's still risky to do stuff like that. I mean, not that risky. I mean, that's toward the bottom side of risk. I guess way more risky is getting loans and then buying crypto. That is something I definitely recommend anyone not do. But BITO, once again, is the ticker. You're going to be able to invest in it. Tomorrow is when it should be launching. Perhaps there will be a delay, so we can't 100% confirm that, but it should be tomorrow when that happens. Now, what we really need, though, and I tweeted this out, I said retweet if you want to see a Dogecoin ETF. That right there is the big kahuna of ETFs. That's what we need. So come on, get on it, guys. Where's our Dogecoin ETF? We're waiting. We're ready to invest in it. Come for the Doge. Stay. Oh, that's hilarious. I appreciate that coming from Edvid. Then we also have Slippy First here from Instagram. Would like to show you how I use Dogecoin as real money every day to pay rent, groceries, power, etc. Hashtag Doge money. That's awesome. So Slippy First is your tag on Instagram. Hopefully it's not a scammer. Be careful, because I don't know, but it sounds real to me. So that's pretty cool. I'll definitely, you know what I'll do? I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that, and I will give you a follow on Instagram. Oh yeah, someone could just comment as well. T-King is going up a lot. That's true. This week, T-King has gone pretty crazy, and basically everyone in our community who invested early has made a lot of money. A lot of people have taken profits from it. A lot of people are still holding a lot, waiting for future spikes. So whatever you decide to do, that is completely and totally your decision. But do not be afraid at all to be happy right now if your T-King went up, obviously. Obviously, you can be happy about that. We've had a lot of great picks so far this year, but if you've missed out on those, don't be afraid of that either, because there are more coming. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And by the way, picks does not mean that you should buy it. It just means you should be looking at it and decide yourself if you want to buy it or not. I'm trying to find more information on how to buy NFTs. I actually made a video on that. Scroll down, maybe like 20 videos, maybe less than that. Either 10, 20, something like that. Scroll down. I posted a video. It's called Getting Rich from Dogex and Dogecoin, how to buy Doge NFTs. And you can see that, watch that, and learn how to buy NFTs from that. It's actually a pretty easy process. And speaking of NFTs, right now Dojex is getting very close to being minted out. There are now less than 3% left, which means we are over 97% minted with Dojex. Let me go ahead and pull up the website here real quick. Dogex.ai is the website if you want to check the mints. Look at that. So we're right now 10,000 that were available, down to 294 left. So that is a huge success when it comes to the project. We are seeing some great things happening with it. So that's very exciting as we continue to watch that. And obviously the big goal here is the major spike after it's minted out. That's what we're working towards, and that's what we're excited about. So keep up the good work on social media if you are, of course, interested in that. We are also seeing New York actually being even tougher when it comes to cryptocurrency. They are now shutting down 2 cryptocurrency lending companies. which is kind of unprecedented to shut down 2 at once, and then also filing against 3 other ones that now have to answer specific questions. The problem with this is that there's not actually enough of a precedent to shut them down over this. Basically, what happened here is they are now classifying cryptocurrencies as a security in some parts of the law, so then therefore they now are making the argument that these companies all have to register directly with the Attorney General's office, which is Letitia James there in New York. And the problem with that was that wasn't clear beforehand, and so now they're shutting down companies in that state because of it, even though technically in most states there are much different laws in place for that to where you don't have to do it. So a company could be based in New York but then be doing operations outside of New York and still complying with the law, and that's actually what happened to 2 of those companies of the other 3 that are now forced to answer questions here, and yet they're still in this process and still make it shut down, even though they're not actually participating at all in New York. When it comes to the business they're doing, they're just simply based out of there. I believe their intention was to participate, but then once they figured out what the laws were and got kind of nervous about that, they decided not to. So all the states that do this are doing is just simply bumping people out, stopping innovation, stopping money from coming in, all in the name of getting more control, specifically as individuals. It's not the way to go. So stop it, New York. Stop it, any state. It's not just New York, by the way. Stop it to any state that is doing that. It is not the way to go. Slippy first, I meant on Twitter, LOL. So Philip says it's Slippy first on Twitter, not Instagram. All right, I'll give you a follow. And yeah, it's tough to know for sure, because some of those coins, I saw your chat there, some of those coins will go up and down. And so if it is going up, then basically that just means, typically speaking, when it comes, the only cryptocurrency I never really sell right now is Dogecoin. And I've sold it at points in the past when I was trading it, but it's been a really long time since I sold Dogecoin. I don't really like selling it because I love Dogecoin too much. Every other crypto that I trade, I have sold some of it, and I'll take profits at different points along the way. I think that's always smart when it comes to crypto investing. If you're taking profits as it goes up, then when it eventually comes back down, you can be like, okay, well, I feel good. At least I took a lot of profits as it was going up. Now, that's something obviously we don't want to be telling other people to do, because we want other people to put their money in and then hold it, right? But just for our group specifically, that's kind of the smartest way to go about it most of the time. Once again, make your own decision, but that's something I would definitely recommend everyone strongly considers doing, because even if you really like a cryptocurrency and you want to go up a lot, there's still always the fact that most of these are going to go back down again, because it's not house money you're playing with, it's everyone else's money. And so that way is the best way to look at it, because you make these investments with the goal of making profits for the most part. Dogecoin obviously being the one exception there, where a lot of us love it so much that even if we can make a lot of profits from it, we're like, all right, maybe one day we'll take the profits when we retire or something, but we just love it too much. And that's why Dogecoin has a special place in all of our hearts. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us. I mean, some of us maybe not so much. But when are you going to buy Matt the Doge? We wait. So I put some offers on it, and obviously it is still there. I may be putting another offer soon on it. I'll just have to decide what I want to do. I do own a lot of Dojex NFTs, and I really want to get Matt Doge, so I'm gonna try to play my cards right and get Matt Doge. That's of course something that I want, and we're gonna try to make that happen. Crypto is too big for partisan politics, is this article as well coming in, and I think that's in fact true. So keep in mind, sometimes I'll talk about different people in different positions of power, and they're doing things against crypto that we don't like, but it's not ever a specific time or a specific party or anything like that. It's just simply, if you do the wrong thing, you're going to get called out on the final stand show. That's the way it is, because like this article says, and I agree, crypto is too big for partisan politics. We have people from all over the world, from all different political parties. Keep in mind, in every part of the world, there's different political parties that mean different things. So it's not like you can just have a uniform idea one way or the other. It's everyone across the globe that likes participating in cryptocurrency, and that's one of the reasons why it so far above politics. And even specifically in your country, whatever country you're in, there are likely and almost certainly people on all sides who support crypto, because it is now at that point where it's so big that you can't really have that divide like you can with other things. And there will be people who try to divide it. There will be people who try to make it a partisan issue, but they're not going to be successful in the end. They can just simply try and fail over and over and over and over again. That's the way it is. Yeah, that's right. You got to fail. Bean's book just dropped their NFT collection on OpenSea. Check them out, says Jonathan Santos. Interesting. Yeah, it's always fun to see NFT projects that are cool and creative doing well. I do not like to see ones that are not cool and creative doing well. You got to put the effort and time in if you want to have a lot of support most of the time. And if you get lucky and you have a lot of success without that, then you know what? I'm jealous. That's not fair. Well, that's not fair because Dojex, a ton of work has gone into that. So I think definitely people respect a lot of work going in more than just stuff like that. And by the way, most projects that don't have a lot of work going are failures. Big time, because you can't really cheat your way out of this. You either put the work in and make a product people love, or you don't. That's what it comes down to. And it means you also need to keep putting the work in. That's why Dojex, doing Dojex babies, think about the amount of time and energy and effort that's being put into Dojex that's being done for free, because Dojex babies are a free benefit to Dojex holders. What other crypto project in the NFT space is doing that? I don't see any. So that's what it's all about. It's all about treating people with respect who are participating, because that's the same respect you're getting. It's about a two-way thing there. Did you invest into others' memes like Floki and Shiba to try to make 100 or 10,000x? I actually did put $100 in the Shiba Inu, but then I sold it during the last spike, and I made a little bit of money from it, and not too much. So yeah, I put a little in. Doge falling some right now is a chat I just got. Let me go and see what it's doing right now. So it has gone back down some after that, but overall, look at that chart on the day. So when in doubt to zoom out. But yeah, so some of that spikeage has come back down to earth. But the important thing here is that Dogecoin right now is seeing an increase in volume that will likely lead to that next run. That's why we're looking at this with a level of excitement. And by the way, it was already down to around there when I started doing research for the live. So it's not like this is a surprise to us. We did see it going back down. That does not change anything when it comes to the future. In fact, all that means is now people are going to use this as a buying opportunity. A lot of people will before the next run happens, which is looking more and more likely to happen very soon here. So that's why we're still excited about it, even though it has gone back down. And of course, we'll acknowledge that. If Dogecoin does crash, we'll say, you know what? We are wrong. It crashed. And the truth is, we don't actually know what's going to happen. The reason why I'm so optimistic is because based on what I see in the chart, there's a higher than 50% chance, but there's still a chance it won't happen. So you have to look at it both ways. And that's why you're always supposed to never risk more in the market than you're willing to potentially lose, because you actually can't know for sure what's going to happen. No one can. You can try, but you will not succeed. Jack Dorsey, by the way, says Square is looking to build Bitcoin mining hardware for the masses. And I think it's so cool that he's building Bitcoin mining software and hardware for churches, because Catholic churches have not really been mining Bitcoin at all lately. So the fact that he's now getting into Catholic Church Bitcoin mining is a really great thing. So congrats to you, Jack Dorsey, for doing that. I think all of the priests in the Catholic Church will definitely appreciate the extra sources of income and donations. Okay, no, that's a joke. That's a joke. Not that kind of masses. He means for the masses, as in the general public. For more people. Oh no! Did Matt go far down the lane of making a misinterpretation joke? Yes, he did. Jack Dorsey says he's now looking to do that. Basically, what the deal is here is that most people can't actually jump through the hurdles because they don't know how to do it to mine Bitcoin. It's difficult. You have to set up a lot of complicated things, and then the incentive for doing that may not be large enough to actually go through the trouble unless you have a massive operation, especially now that we're seeing Bitcoin be less and less profitable to mine as more and more miners come in. And also we see the amount of Bitcoin circulation lower, which means the chances of you getting it also go lower as well. But Jack Dorsey, with his goal here is to make something you can just simply plug in and it'll work right away, which will increase the amount of people who have access to mining and therefore make it easier to mine. And also the goal here would be that after Bitcoin goes down to zero, or at least goes smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where people, even the big operations, won't have as much of an incentive. There will be enough smaller ones that are going with relative ease that it can still keep Bitcoin afloat. So that's kind of his long-term vision there. And I do like that, even though obviously there's a lot of things Jack Dorsey does that we may not like so much. That's one of the ones he does that we actually do like. Hindu group urges India to regulate platforms / cryptocurrency. So now we'll move to a different part of religion here. And some people in some religions across the globe now have the opinion that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are bad and Dogecoin is bad. Now, they say it goes against their religion, and the truth is, if you say that, then you're allowed to believe that, right? No one's going to say, okay, well, maybe some people will, but people aren't going to say, okay, you can't believe that's not true. But what I think is crossing line here is that they're not just saying we don't want to participate, they're saying everyone else is not allowed to participate either. This group is now calling for them to be regulated. Some groups are calling for it to be banned or taken down, and I think that's absolutely going too far. People will respect you if you respect them back, so don't try to stop other people from doing something that they feel comfortable with doing, because we did a poll on the channel. Close to 80% of people who watch Final Stand do believe in God, which means that's a heck of a lot of people. And so I think everyone in that percentage that said yes to that is understanding. Even the people who said no are also understanding, but that doesn't mean we're going to try to enforce what we think on other people through laws. That's just not the way to go about it. So I disagree strongly with that. I wanted to go ahead and bring it up real quick, but the truth is I don't think they'll be successful, so it's not that big of a concern. India needs to absolutely be a place that's staying open to crypto because they can benefit more from it than a lot of other countries by a significant margin. India is a place where I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and Dogecoin has one of the biggest chances to truly improve life for people, and I want to see that happening because I think it's the right thing for cryptocurrency. Bitcoin comes to the big board as well, and that is of course another article talking about how Bitcoin's now been added. The ETF is coming to the big board. Cryptocurrency is bunk. This article I thought was pretty dang ridiculous. We saw this girl Ravenheart writing an article once again dashing and bashing crypto for the fact that, according to her, it's bad for the environment. People keep telling us this, but people keep not actually having evidence to back it up. Why? Because it's not really bad for the environment. Bitcoin is operating on such a large scale. Yeah, it takes a lot of energy, but it's still significantly smaller amounts of energy than what the current systems take per person. And that's the biggest difference. They don't look at it on a per person basis. They don't look at it on a bigger scale. They just simply say, oh, it's using this much energy, therefore it's bad, without actually comparing it or contrasting it to any other of the systems out there. So we have to make sure we're calling out articles like this and that and that. All of the articles that we need to call out, we will do it, and we will do it proudly. That's right, we'll do it. That means Dogecoin is about to spike up from David Cruz. Then Sam says there is a creator. Then Reen says Shiba. Then yeah, a lot of people commenting stuff like that. Interesting. So we're having some debates in the comment section as well. You know, that's good for engagement. So yeah, let's have a lot of debates in the comment section. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bernard Arnold and family, Bill Gates. That's the current ranking right now. Elon Musk, $220 billion. Just insane. At this point, I don't know if he will ever be passed again when it comes to the world's richest title. Maybe he will, maybe he won't in his lifetime. That'll be exciting and interesting to watch, but I'm much happier with him being at the top than Jeff Bezos. I will say that for sure. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace, this is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.